now they say for you as member of parliament and deputy minister, you have no business being a deputy minister.
Yeah.
So proper separation of powers, they'd say. What do you make of the recommendations?
Well, some of the recommendations were expected, and they are popular, and I think that they are appropriate. Some of them, they make you raise your eyebrows a little and wonder, what the intention behind that.
Which ones make you raise your eyebrow and act?
I knew that's where you were going to go. I mean, so the term limit, I think is still open for discussion. 5 years, 7 years, 1 term, 2 terms. I mean, it's still open for conversation. The role of parliamentarians in the executive is obviously something that I also think will get a lot of attention. I mean, I know that I'm going to sound very, I don't know, I can't get the appropriate word because I was in the media and I know how, discussions around parliament and parliamentarians go down, and so now that I am on the other side, I think that many of the conversations are had based on misunderstanding. And unfortunately, parliamentarians are very vulnerable, because of the cycle of elections that we have and how sometimes decisions of voters are based on perception, either right or wrong. So they are unable to advocate for themselves.
Okay.
Because advocating against public opinion is a risky thing to do. When especially the public have a say in whether you keep your job or not. So it makes it difficult for that misunderstanding and misconceptions and perceptions that are wrong to be confronted and dealt with. And perhaps that is why you have members of parliament living with that perception that they are, if you like, pampered and enjoying too much, and some limits must be put on
the average Ghanaian. The average
Yes.
Ghanaian, Honorable Suhuyini, the average Ghanaian makes the point that, and we've made these points before in the past about a separation of power.
Yeah.
We have talked about the fact that Parliament is supposed to be the institution that actually has oversight, and here oversight is a goal of accountability. So Parliament is a key institution. In fact, in the Public Financial Management Act, every covered entity in presenting their accounts for a financial year must indicate how they actually incorporated recommendations from the Public Accounts Committee, which you've been a member of before.
No, I wasn't. I was at appointments.
Appointments Committee. Right. The Public Accounts Committee. You must show how you've incorporated their recommendations even into your accounts.
Right.
Now, the question they ask is, imagine you as Roads Minister in Parliament, tasked with the oversight of other ministries. You are in the same boat. You are in the same boat.
I mean, there's a point there, a very good point there that has been made. But you see, first of all, our country has a history, and it is the history that led to the current fusion of the legislature and the executive. Let's not lose sight of that fact. I mean, have we overgrown what necessitated this fusion? We need to assess the situation. Beyond that, Winston, if you look at established democracies like the British democracy, you have the Prime Minister mostly from Parliament.
Yes.
And so they also have a semblance of the fusion between the legislature and the executive. So really, what are we seeking to cure? That's why I'm saying that there will be, debates and conversations. The issues I'm raising are not necessarily my point of view on this.
Okay.
They are just thoughts that have come to me as a result of the introduction of this conversation.
But from your
I'm
personal
yielding to convincing arguments that can go for the suggestion. But I also just think that it is important that we keep our minds open as we have this discussion. Because you see, let me just land on this note and I come to you. You see, the point you made about overseeing colleague ministers or ministries, it is a good one. But then it also comes with the experience. If you are in the executive, for example, and you are the ministry, you are to lead agencies, to do the presentations. It affords you an understanding of what goes into their work also when you are in Parliament and they are making excuses. You know those that are legitimate excuses and those that are just wishy-washy excuses because of your experience of working at the ministry also.
But you see, is that also the more reason you have to separate this? And I'll give you an example. Right. So the Speaker of Parliament says he rejected appointment as chairman of the National Health Insurance Authority. Now imagine if you had the Speaker of Parliament, this is for purpose of analysis, Speaker of Ghana's Parliament, as board chairman of the National Health Insurance Authority under the Ministry of Health. And the Ministry of Health, so then as board chairman, he reports to the Minister of Health. The Minister of Health is also supposed to account to Parliament. Now the Speaker who's supposed to be in the chair,
leader of the
who would admit things that would happen, is actually in the scheme of things when it comes to the health insurance, reporting to the very person that he's supposed to oversee when it comes to dealings of the health ministry. This is what people say. It defeats the purpose of accountability. You have cited the British example. Some would also cite the American example. But there's the other conversation that maybe we can have is the implementation of what we call a hybrid system and whether it's lived to expectation. You've heard Professor Raymond Atuguba consistently say that while our constitution may not be bad, the framers thought that the people who would implement it would be reasonable not to take advantage of it.
Fantastic point.
Unfortunately,
it's always been my argument.
They may not have
about
been.
The laws, it's about character sometimes of the people who occupy those positions.
Once you don't have
not only
those
about
people,
the laws.
Once you don't have those people, sometimes the argument is then you go and tighten it. Because while you're expecting them to do the right thing, since they are not doing it, you would agree, since they are not doing it, tighten it. So that when we now are sure we will do the right thing, you're losing it. So they do that, right?
I agree with you. And you see, again, the example you gave with the Speaker and then the Minister of Health. I mean, another argument one can make, and like I said earlier, let's keep an open mind, is that because the Speaker knows the expectation of Parliament, when he acts as board chair, he's going to guide the process to ensure that they do not do things that Parliament will not accept. I mean, that's another argument that can be logical.